Thank you, friends, for joining us this morning. Yali Mother to all. Today, in our journey on the ilm and practice, it would be proper to talk about Imam and the Imamat Day as we approach the 66th Imamat Day of our present Imam, Shah Karimul Hussaini Hazir Imam Salawatullah alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. May his blessing be on us. May his Khanavadan Shafkat be on us. May Mullah help us with his Noor so we may follow him in the true sense. Friends, today I would like to take a different approach to the Imam and Imamat. I'm sure by now all the channels are speaking of Imamat Day. There may be Dandiyaras, Garba, Mendi, food, other celebration, and rightly so. We should celebrate anything and everything as our shukr guzari to the Imam Zaman. How fortunate are we that we are born in Ismaili Tariqa? How fortunate are we that amongst the 8.2 billion human, only handful, not even counted as a 1%, only handful were born as Ismaili and with the Imam Zaman, guided by the light, the Noor, the Imam Zaman. In return, he's not asking for anything. He's not asking for anything. Where would you find an Imam like that? 1957, as the Imam taking the seat of the Imamat, he says, as my grandfather had dedicated his entire life, the longest Imamat in our history, 72 years of Imamat. And Hazrat Imam says about him, as my grandfather has dedicated his entire life, I will do so too. क्या फरमाया मौला ने कि जिस तरह से मेरे दादा ने अपनी पूरी जिंदगी आपके लिए वक्फ कर दी, मैं भी अपनी पूरी जिंदगी आपके लिए डेडिकेट करता हूं, अर्पण करता हूं. May I ask, what have we done for our Imam? He has given his entire life for us. What have we done for him? If I may ask. That is the point of reflection. That is time for us to reflect. What have we as an Ismaili, individually or collectively, have done for Imam. Yesterday, I was listening to one of the wise, one of our old ALWAAZ was giving a wise, an emotional wise, maybe 20, 30, 40 years ago, long time ago. He asked that question and it made me reflect. He says, Imam only want one thing from you. Imam has given his entire life, 24 hours a day, entire life to the Jamaat. And I was thinking back in 1986 when Hazrat Imam came to USA to a Didar Hall in Houston, Texas. With him came Begum Salima. There were over 25,000 Jamaat present at that time. After the Tilawat, Ginane Sharif, Mola Baba took the mic and said this word. Please pay attention to what Mola Baba said and how much he loves us, what he has given for us. He fulfilled his promise to us. Listen to this, what Mola Baba says. Mola Baba says, parents wants to be with their children. Parents wants to be with their children. Today, on that day, the Mola Baba was in Houston. Mola Baba says, today, one of Prince has a birthday. And my children are in Boston, Massachusetts, and mother, pointing to Begum Salima, and mother wants to be with her children. So I told Begum, you go and have a day with your children. And I am here with my children. क्या फरमाया कि बेगम को मैंने कहा कि तुम जाओ अपने बच्चों के साथ रहो, मैं अपने बच्चों के साथ हूं यहां पर. ये है इमाम की मोहब्बत. इमाम ने अपनी पूरी जिंदगी हमको दे दी है. सवाल है हमने क्या दिया है इमाम को. क्या फरमाया मौला ने कि माँ बाप चाहते हैं कि वो अपने बच्चों के साथ रहे. शहजादे का बर्थडे है. क्या फरमाते हैं कि बेगम को मैंने कहा कि तुम जाओ अपने बच्चों के साथ रहो, मैं अपने बच्चों के साथ यहां रहूंगा. Look at the love of the Imam. Look at the love of the Imam for the Jamaat. Look at what Imam is giving to us, what he has given to us. He has dedicated his entire life to the Jamaat. What have we given to the Imam? Back to their ALWAAZ, he says, Imam wants one thing from you. Only one thing from you. Imam said, it would make me happy to see my Jamaat in Jamaat Khana every day. क्या फरमाया मौला ने? मुझे एक चीज खुश करती है और वो ये कि मैं अपनी जमात को जमात खाने में देखूं। क्या हम इमाम को ये खुशी दे सकते हैं? इमाम ने अपने पूरी जिंदगी हमको दे दी है। इमाम ने अपनी पूरी जिंदगी हमको दे दी है। अपने शहजादे के पर्दे पर नहीं जाते हैं। Let me tell you this. If you have a birthday in your family, you will not go to Jamaat Khana. Imam skipped his Shehzada, his prince, his son's birthday to be with you. What have we given to the Imam Zaman? Can we make Imam happy? And he's not asking you for anything. He does not need your money. He does not care for your money. He wants your 30 minutes. He wants that 30 minutes. He wants you to be in Jamaat Khana. When a new Jamaat Khana was opening, the plan was presented to the Imam. Imam said, how big is the prayer hall in the Jamaat Khana? And they said, Mullah, it would be approximately 2,500 to 3,000 Jamaat seating area. You know what Imams ask? How many people come in the morning? जब मौला को एक जमात खाने का प्लान बताया गया, दिखाया गया और मौला ने पूछा कि इसमें कितनी जमात बैठ सकेंगी, लीडरों ने अर्ज की, या मौला 2500 से 3000। मौला ने पूछा, सुबह को कितने लोग आते हैं? How many people are present in the morning Jamaat Khana? Look around you. Look at your Jamaat Khana, regardless of which Jamaat Khana you go to. I have seen the great, beautiful Jamaat Khana in Toronto. Beautiful new Jamaat Khana next to the museum. I believe it's 49 Don Mill. Probably 3,000, 4,000 people, Jamaat can come comfortably and sit. Then, evening, it was Chandrat or Friday. There was no room. Jamaat Khana was full. The next morning, when the light came on at 5 o'clock, you could count the Jamaat on your finger. There were hardly 2 lines. They were scattered, maybe 100 or 2. What happened? What happened? Look at that beautiful Jamaat Khana. Was this Jamaat Khana built for Friday only? Or was this Jamaat Khana built for Chandrat only? What does Imam wants from you? And have we given anything to our Imam Zaman? What is Imams asking us to do? What makes our Imam happy? As Nachiz said earlier, This is going to be a different kind of session today. 2006, almost at the end of 2006, just before the Golden Jubilee, leadership have gone to the Imam, and there was a 3-day meeting to sort out how will we celebrate Golden Jubilee, 50 years of Imamat of our present Imam, Shah Karimul Hussaini Hazir Imam, Salawatullah Alayhi. About 16 years from now, back 16 years, leadership had brought a beautiful plan. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. They presented Imam that this is not the time as it was in the time of the previous Imam, where Imam was weighted by the gold, literally and physically. But equivalent to that value of the gold, Jamaat will present a Nazarana. Imam replied to that, okay, do as you wish. But it would be nice if my Jamaat could give me time and knowledge Nazarana. क्या फरमाया? जब लीडरों ने इमाम के हुजूर में गोल्डन जुबली से पहले 2006 में पूरा गोल्डन जुबली का प्लान बना के गए और कहने लगे या मौला, ये वो जमाना नहीं है जहां हम आपको सोने में तोले, जिस तरह के पिछले इमाम को तोला था, लेकिन उसके बराबर बराबर जमात आपको नजराना पेश करेंगी फंड्स के अंदर। मौलाना ने कहा ठीक है, जो भी आपको करना है आप करें, लेकिन बेहतर होगा कि जमात अपने वक्त और इल्म, टाइम एंड नॉलेज का नजराना पेश करे, टाइम एंड नॉलेज का नजराना पेश करे। Have we done that? What was the time and knowledge nazarana? Did we learn more ilm, more about our tariqah, more about our imam? Did we give our time, 30 minutes, 1 hour toward the ilm? And did we help other learn? Did we help our Ismaili Jamaat or the Ummah at large with the skill, the ilm that we have? What have we given to the Imam? That is the question of the day. It's never too late. It's never too late. We can do it today. We can do it tomorrow. As long as we are living and breathing, we can fulfill this Nazarana to the Imam. You know what happened after that? Now, leadership and Imam, almost for 2 days, will set up the plan. How we going to give the Nazarana of the time and knowledge? Because they did not have any comprehension of that. क्या करेंगे, किस तरह से अपने वक्त और इल्म का नजराना पेश करेंगे हम? मौला ने step by step, Imam gave the instruction how this will be done. Step by step. Leadership came to the Jamaat, presented this plan of time and Nazrana and step-by-step plan. How are we going to do it? Now, somebody like me, somebody like my mom, somebody like any our elder or younger children in the Jamaat, how will they give the ilm and time Nazrana to the Imam? पहले सोचे एक मिनट के लिए कि इमाम ने फरमाया कि बेहतर होगा अगर आप वक्त और इल्म का नजराना पेश करें। तो जो डॉक्टर होगा, लॉयर होगा, पढ़ा लिखा होगा, टीचर होगा, नर्स होगा, वो तो नजराना दे देगा, अपना वक्त भी देगा और अपना स्किल सेट इल्म भी देगा। लेकिन मेरे जैसा कोई गरीब जाहिल इंसान, मेरी माँ जैसा जो अनपढ़ है, हमारे बच्चे जो छोटे छोटे हैं, how will they present this nazrana to the imam? Have you ever thought about that? Our tariqah is of the tariqah of the logic and intellect. How would you present the nazrana to the imam of the time and knowledge? There was a big issue. 50% of the Jamaat was not able to present the nazrana. Why would imam ask for something which was not possible for every single murid? Challenge your mind, your logic. किस तरह से जमात तमाम की तमाम इमाम को टाइम और इल्म का नजराना दे, जबकि 50% आधी जमात के लिए ये मुमकिन नहीं था कि वो डॉक्टर हो, वो नर्स हो, पढ़े लिखे हो, टीचर्स हो, लॉयर्स हो, वो मुमकिन नहीं था। मेरे जैसे जाहिल लोग भी थे, मेरी माँ अनपढ़ है, मेरे बच्चे छोटे थे। किस तरह से ये हम नजराना पेश करते हैं इमाम को? क्या हम इमाम को उसकी गोल्डन जुबली पे नजराना ना दें? इमाम ने ऐसा नजराना क्यों मांगा जो मेरे लिए मुमकिन नहीं था, मेरी माँ के लिए मुमकिन नहीं था, मेरे बच्चों के लिए मुमकिन नहीं था? Why would Imam ask for something which was not possible for us? Have you ever thought about that? Why don't we think? Why don't we pay attention? Why don't we ask questions? No, it was possible for everyone. It was possible for everyone. My mother asked me that question back in 2007. बेटा, હું કેવી રીતે ઇલ્મને વક્તનો નજરાનો દઉં? મારા ટાઈમ તો ઘણો છે, લેકિન ઇલ્મ નથી મારા ઘર. હું તો પઢે लिखेली જ નથી. હું તો ક્યારે સ્કૂલે નથી ગઈ. હું કેમ કરું આ કામ? Mom, why don't you give 30 minutes every day and learn something about our tariqah, learn something about imam, learn something about imamat, and then teach that to your grandchildren. Teach that to the other children in the family. आपने देखा? The tariqah of logic and intellect. You learn some ilm, give your 30 minutes to the Imam Zaman, learn about our tariqah, learn about our Imam, learn about the Imamat, and then teach that to the grandchildren. And grandchildren will give that 30 minutes a day in learning that ilm. So when they grow up, they will have that ilm and that time to present their nazrana to the Imam. Now 100%, everyone is covered. No one has excuse. What are we doing right now? What are you doing right now? Right now, you are giving your time and learning the ilm, and hopefully, you will teach and give this ilm and your time to your grandchildren, to your children, to the Jamaat, to the others. It's not too late. Let me take you back to 2006. Let's come with me. Let's go back to the 2006 meeting on the third day. On the third day, leadership realizing that we have not asked Imam what does he want as a gift for the Golden Jubilee. तीसरे दिन लीडरों के दिमाग में एक बात आई कि हमने ये तो पूछा ही नहीं मौला पापा से कि मौला पापा आपको क्या चाहिए गोल्डन जुबली की गिफ्ट, क्या तोहफा पेश करें हम, आप क्या चाहते हैं हमसे. Mullah Papa was so jubilant, happy, discussing all this plan for Golden Jubilee. You know what happened? All of the sudden, Mullah Papa's face dropped. He became sad. Leadership did not know what happened. They got scared. They got set back. जब मौला से हमारे लीडरों ने पूछा कि या इमाम ज़मान खुदावंद आपको क्या नजराना तोहफा चाहिए गोल्डन जुबली पर. इमाम इतने खुश थे क्योंकि गोल्डन जुबली का प्लान बन रहा था. एकदम से मौला का चेहरा उतर गया. मौला का चेहरा उतर गया और मौला के चेहरे पर गमगीनी छा गई. लीडर डर गए कि क्या हुआ, हमने ऐसी क्या बात कर दी. What happened? What did we say that all of the sudden Imam face just dropped? What happened? They were set back. They got scared. They did not know what happened. What did we say wrong? They all with their hand raised. Khudawand, did we say something wrong? Something went wrong? Something happened? Mullah Papa said no. Mullah Papa said, perhaps my Jamaat would recognize me. Perhaps my Jamaat would recognize the Imam of the time. क्या फरमाया इमाम ने? क्यों इतने गमगीन हो गए? काश मेरी जमात मुझे पहचानती, काश मेरी जमात जमाने के इमाम को पहचानती. गमगीन होकर फरमाने लगे कि काश मेरी जमात मुझे पहचानती. Now think about that. This was 50 years of imamat. Do we not know who Imam is? Do we not know who Imam is? Imam's recognition is on 4 levels. Zat, नाम, उसकी एट्रीब्यूशन, उसका इमामत का दर्जा, और आखिरी में इमाम की हकीकत. Imam's recognition is on 4 levels. The name, we all know Aga Khan. The body, we know what he looks like. His position, we all know he is the 49th Imam of the Ismaili Tariqah. Then there is the last one, the Noor, the Hakikat, the truth. How does Imam becomes Imam? What makes Imam an Imam? That's what Imam was asking. Perhaps my Jamaat would recognize me. Perhaps my Jamaat will recognize the Imam of the time. इमाम के 3 चीजें हम पहचानते हैं. इमाम का नाम, इमाम कैसे दिखते हैं, और इमाम की पोजीशन कि वो हमारे 49वें इमाम ज़मान है. लेकिन वो इमाम कैसे बने, उसके अंदर नूर कैसे आ गया, उसके अंदर क्या चीज है जो उसको इमाम बनाती है, वो हम नहीं जानते हैं. और इमाम क्या फरमाते हैं, काश मेरी जमात मुझे पहचानती. लीडर्स हिल गए कि क्या 50 साल के बाद भी हम जमात को, इमाम को नहीं पहचानते हैं. 50 साल के बाद भी. या खुदाविंद, how do we recognize you? What do we do to recognize you? Imam said, take 2 things. You take those 2 things, and if you understand that, if you comprehend, and if you make my Jamaat understand that, and if they comprehend, they will be able to recognize me. क्या फरमाया, 2 चीजों को ले जाओ. अगर पहले आप समझ जाएंगे और अगर आप मेरी जमात को समझाने में कामयाब हो जाएंगे, तो मेरी जमात मुझे पहचान लेंगी. और वो 2 चीजें क्या थी? What were those 2 things? Do you remember? It's been 16 years since Imam wished for us to recognize him. Do you remember what was those 2 things? If not, my question remains, what have we given to the Imam? Imam has given his whole life to us. What have we given? Have we even given him our attention? Have we even given our second thought, our minute of a day to think about Imam? Have we given him 30 minutes a day to go to Jamaat Khana? Those are all of the questions for you to ponder on. If you do not know the answer, come and ask. If you know the answer, reply. Apply to yourself. Reply to those answers and then apply to yourself. Imam does not want your money. He does not want anything from you. He wants your attention. He wants your 30 minutes of your time. He wants your time and knowledge. And that's exactly what we are doing here today. And those who will listen tomorrow, think about this. And I will stop here. Thank you so much for joining. Imamat Day Mubarak, Khushali Mubarak to all my brother and sister, all my friends, to the Jamaat, small or Buzrug, to everyone, Imamat Day Mubarak. We have 10 minutes for question today. Then we will stop as we have a majlis to go to. Ji.
Subhanallah, 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 sir. Thank you very much for explaining us on this Imamat Day. We all should reflect and we should ask questions to ourselves. Do we remember these things that Imam wants us, and have we given him what makes Imam happy? So that will be our true Imamat Day celebration. So thank you very much. Friends, if you have any questions, please post in the chat, or you can raise your hand and ask question to sir directly.
Sir, myself, Shenazi Ali Madad.
Ali Madad.
Sir, this insight that you gave us Often, it's so necessary for us, sir. It keeps on waking us up. MashaAllah, thank you, sir. Every time you bring this insight, it's like, asking ourselves questions, sir. Thank you very much.
Shukran,
Shukram,
shukran.
shukram.
Subhanallah, subhanallah.
Sir, as you have asked the friends to find out the answers, but is there any way you can help us a little bit so that we can reflect more on it? If you can just explain a little bit more in detail what, two things that Imam, ask us to reflect on, so we can spend our more time in it. Thank you.
Subhanallah. Beshak, absolutely. Imam said, take two things. One was Ayah Nur, Ayah Misbah. That is Quranic reference Surah 24, which is Surah Nur, and Ayah Misbah number 35. Imam says, take this ayat and reflect on this, and this ayat will give you insight, the recognition of the Imam. And there is a key phrase in that ayat, and that is Nuran ala Nur. Imam after Imam after Imam after Imam. Imam before Imam before Imam before Imam. Imam always be present in this world. Progeny after progeny. Father Imam, son Imam, son Imam, father Imam. And that was the principle number one. Number two, Imam had given us Hadith Saklan that hang on tight to the Itrat, the Imam, and the book, the Quran. Whomever hold tight to the book and my ALWAAZ, the Itrat, the progeny of Ali, will never become sects. कभी भी वो पारा पारा नहीं हो जाएंगे. Those were the two things that he has given to us. And remember what he said to the leadership. If you understand and comprehend, and if you make the Jamaat understand and comprehend, then and then only they will be able to recognize the Imam of the time. Ji.
Ji sir, Subhanallah. Thank you very much for helping us remembering that two things again. Sir, we have question in the chat. How indeed, how do we tell ourselves? What do we tell ourselves? The research of the missing pieces. So that's from Shainaz. So I think, sir, you explained us. So thank you. Sir, another friend is asking, can you write these surah names in the chat so we know? Okay. Sir, we will help that friend in a minute. So we will post that. Also, sir, सर आपने जो जमात खाने के बात की वो जाहिरी जमात खाना या बातिन फ्रेंड इज आस्किंग दैट क्वेश्चन
Everything begins with the physical. Everything begins with the physical. Having said that, we have a physical Jamaat Khana, we have a Batini Jamaat Khana, we have an intellectual Jamaat Khana. But everything starts from the physical. So that should answer your question. Practice starts physically. Once you are perfected, then you can move into the spiritual Jamaat Khana and intellectual Jamaat Khana. Ji.
जी सर थैंक यू सुबहानल्लाह थैंक यू सर सर फ्रेंड इज आस्किंग डज Surat Ikhlas also plays a part in recognizing the Imam. So I think friend is asking the surah that we read in our sixth part, the Surah Ikhlas. Does that play a part in recognizing the Imam?
Every single surah plays part in recognizing the Imam. From Surah Al-Hamd all the way to the end. Every single plays part in recognizing Imam. Why? How? because Quran is a written book and Imam is a speaking book. You need the written book so you can find the speaking book. Written books explains how Imam is Imam. I can give you an example. Surah 17, ayat number 71. You probably never even heard of it. Surah 17, ayat number 71 tells you there is an Imam in every time, every age, for every people. You see, it's not in our dua. Surah 25, ayat number 58. Only believe in the living Imam. Put your trust in the living Imam who never dies. It's not in our dua. That is Surah 25, ayat number 58. Surah 2, ayat number 1 and 2 talks about Imam. You see, you can pick any ayat you like, any surah you like. It gives you the recognition of Imam as the Noor of the Quran is Imam Zaman. Ji.
Ji sir, that reminds me the farman of Imam, that whenever you recite any part of the Quran, it should bring a concept to you. So, shukran,
Absolutely.
alhamdulillah.
Subhanallah.
Friends, if you have any questions, please put in the chat box or you can raise your hand.
All
Sir,
right.
I
We
don't
only
see,
have 4 minutes and then we will finish. Go ahead, Feria.
sir, I don't see anything, any more questions in the chat box, but I always think about this, sir, that yes, we do want to learn more about, we want to recognize Imam in the true sense, which Imam always, Imam tells us to, do that. But, sir, um, how do we find more material or how do we find more things to go more deeper into the batini knowledge of this ilm? So,
I would do two things to start. First, ask yourself, do I need to learn? That would be the first question. The most people don't think they need to learn, they know everything. And that becomes a hindrance for them. So that would be the first question. Second, follow Imam's Farman. And that's how you will find things to learn. For example, Khardar 2000 October, Imam says, find those classes, sessions, gathering, groups where religious ilm is given. Look at how clear this फरमान is. आप ऐसी जगहों को ढूंढे, ऐसे ग्रुप्स को ढूंढे जहां पर इमाम का हमारे मजहब का इल्म दिया जाता है. So now, first think that do we need ilm? Second, where do we find it? Imam has given you the instruction. Find those people, those groups, those sessions, those classes where Hakiki ilm is given. And that's how you do it. That should be your first two steps. G.
subhanallah,
So,
subhanallah, sir. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah.
Sir, I don't see anywhere any other classes except coming, early, waking up early morning and understand the, formans with you, the way
Shukran.
you explain us and also you
Shukran.
explain us these
Shukran.
important aspects of our religion. So, shukr
Shukran.
alhamdulillah that, we found that where we have to go to look for these
Shukran.
classes. So, shukr
Shukran.
alhamdulillah.
Let's stop here so people can go to Jamaat Khana to go to Majalis. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your help. Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Sir, thank you, Yalim, but the
That
Imam Mubarak.
Imam
sir.
Day Mubarak. Yali Madad.
Thank you, Yali Madad.
Thank you, sir. Yali Madad.
Yali
Yali Madad,
Madad.
sir.
Yali Madad.
Thank you,
Yali
sir.
Madad.
Yali Madad.
يا مداد
Yali Madad.
Yali
Yali
Badr.
Madad.
يا
Imam
مبارك
Day Mubarak to all.
Yali Madad. Yali
Yali
Madad.
Madad.
Yali
Thank
Madad.
you.